Danny, what's the injury news then ahead of this game at the weekend? Anything you can update us with?
There's a few things, unfortunately, that we need to check on today, which I can't say too much on, in case Bromley are watching. But yeah, there's a couple of things popped up we didn't hope or want to pop up, which I'd like to give you some better news or give you more information. But I think we'll be going down there tomorrow with the team and the subs, and that's about it, if you know what I'm trying to say. So there's a few lads that probably will be out, but can't really give you any more info till after training when we know more.
Appreciate you're going to be quite vague on this, but are these new injury issues that we're talking about here for this game?
One of them is obviously we've got Quiggs and Quasi obviously Quasi from the weekend and Quiggs from before that. We'll have to assess them this morning. Obviously it's always difficult when obviously we're travelling overnight, so you can't say, well, we'll leave it till tomorrow morning because you take them or you don't take them, sort of thing. So that'll be something that Emma is working on at the minute and seeing if they can be fit for selection. But yeah, there's not a huge number of lads out from the game Saturday, but one or two that definitely need assessing this morning.
Is there any good news on Danny Rowe?
Yeah, I think so. I think he had his testing yesterday to see where he's at fitness wise. Loads like real sort of in-depth analysis of him, and it was good results. Touch wood. So I think we're waiting for some final clarification and clearance from the top dog. He's been dealing with him all along in this situation, but fingers crossed it's looking good. I think the manager was talking about potentially having him involved for either Monday or the worst way, Torquay next week.
So because of the injuries, it could be an opportunity for someone like Nathan Tyson. As a staff, when a player like that is presented with an opportunity, what is kind of the message to them? What do you say to them to try and help them maybe take advantage of an opportunity like this?
You mean Nathan? Yeah, I think with someone like Nathan, you haven't got to say much to him. You only have to look at his career, and it's very glittering really, and his professionalism at the age he is to look like he does, to train like he does, to behave like he does. When he hasn't been involved, he's been professional. So I think Nathan will be involved tomorrow and hopefully will play a big part. Like I say, you don't have that sort of career just through luck. Yes, he'll be the first to admit he's that age now where maybe the end is nigh for him, but he's certainly not going to stop his professional habits now, and he's been a credit around the place, that's for sure.
Is the team still striving maybe to reach a certain level based on what was shown against Dover? And if so, short of just getting healthier, maybe a bit more fortunate with those injuries, how else do you reach your best, do you think?
I think at the minute, we'll all be honest, we're getting over the line. It's not fantastic to watch, it's not comfortable, but we're getting over the line. I think we have to finish in those playoffs, or else it's a disaster really. So that's being the brutal truth of it. We have to get over the line and hope that when we are in those playoffs for sure, we do get the one or two game changers back that can then see us over the line to get into League Two. It's going to have to be via the playoffs, obviously, and that's what we're all focused about doing. But we've all, if everything was comfortable every week and we were smashing teams and everything was going to plan, we had no injuries, we wouldn't be sixth in the league. Watching the scores the other night, you're sort of half hoping that teams slip up and at half time it's looking that way and they don't, and because they're good teams and we're a good team. We've just got to believe in ourselves despite the setbacks we seem to be getting quite a lot of, and without being excuses. We're in this situation. We got to get over it. We got to get over the line, whatever means necessary, and it isn't going to get any easier tomorrow at Bromley. So we have to be ready for the fight.
How difficult has it been just to keep things ticking over? I mean, has it been quite stressful at times? I imagine there's probably been times when you think, maybe we're just getting a few back here, and then there always seems to be another piece of misfortune for you.
Yeah, I think it's more you're waiting for the fortune. Like with Rowe, hopefully now that's our first bit of light, if you know what I mean. And that's no disrespect to the lads who've stepped in, because whether we've lost, played poor, played brilliant, what I will say about this group of lads from my time here at the club in general, they've just been a pleasure to work with. Now, does it always go to plan? Do they always play well? Do we always win? No, but these set of lads and these supporters, more importantly, deserve this season not to sort of peter out, and we have to make sure that we reward those supporters for turning up every week by giving it our best to get over the line. Like I say, that the light at the end of the tunnel would be walking out at West Ham in a few weeks. That would be tremendous, and then it is a one-off game when anything can happen. So to get to that, we need to keep getting points under our belt, try and get the game changers back if we can, and then it's in our hands.
On the fans, on a bit of a topical one, there's been a lot of back and forth on the kick-off time for the Stockport game. Do you have sympathy for fans who are often being asked to move their schedules around? And is there something for decision makers to maybe learn from what's happened specifically with this game about when is it going to kick off?
Yeah, I suppose it's tough. I suppose sometimes with the National League, it's a little bit down the pecking order of importance with things. I think our local police are fantastic, and they always look out for what's best for the community first and foremost. We understand this is a huge game it's a massive game for us, but for Stockport, if things go their way, they probably think they could win it here, win the league. There are going to be some excited people travelling down from Stockport, I'd imagine, who would maybe enjoy the extra couple of hours in the pub on the day. But that's something for the police to sort out. In terms of the timings and that, I do appreciate supporters. They do change their schedule, and I think it's not the first time things have got changed around. But as regards to our own police, the lads I've met who sort of are in charge of timings, etc., they've got nothing but the club's interest at heart and the people in the community.
What do you expect from Bromley?
Very tough game. Obviously, I'm sure Andy would be disappointed that they're not in that top 7 at the moment. They've got a big Wembley trip to look forward to. I don't think for a minute they will be distracted with that. I think Andy and his staff are all ex-successful professional footballers who know how the game works, and they won't let their players sort of lose focus, especially with Chesterfield coming into town. We'll always take a load of supporters. It's a big game. People tend to raise the game against us, and rightly so, because we're up there and we're a big club. And he'll want to win. He's done very well there since going in as manager. They're a physical team who've got some good players, and it's like every week. Whether you're playing a team down the bottom, a team up the top, a team that's sort of 9th or 10th, like Bromley are. If we're not on it, you get beat. So it's about us and being focused and ready for the fight.
Cheers, Danny. All the best this weekend.
No problem. Thank you.
Good morning, Danny.
Hi, Liam. You okay?
I'm good, thank you. Could Tom Denton feature tomorrow? Just thinking about Bromley's 3G pitch. Is he totally ruled out of this one and maybe rested for Monday? What's the situation?
No, definitely. I don't think we're in a position to sort of leave people out squads at the moment, especially someone who has had the impact as Tom did Saturday. I think you could look at the 3 games he's come back in the fold for recently. I think we were winning at Wealdstone when he come off. We were drawing at Halifax when he come off, and he's come on and helped us win the game against Dover. So he's given himself a great shout to play tomorrow. That's obviously a decision for the manager, but whether it's the 3G pitch or not, I mean Bromley train on that every day. I know there's teams at League 2 that train on 3 or 4G every day, so we have to be careful we don't use that as too much of a excuse to play or not to play players. I don't think the manager would do that for a minute because of the importance of the fixture.
It's great to hear the news on Danny Rowe. Where is he at in terms of his fitness levels then?
I mean, he's going to be off it fitness-wise. That's anyone can work that one out. He is going to be off it. He's been training for a while now, and it's been building up to full training, and he's not as off it as he was. He's getting fitter all the time, but it's nothing can compare to being on that pitch with the adrenaline to really get your fitness. So I think the manager's plan is to maybe give him some minutes as the games go on. I don't think he'll make the trip tomorrow, but after that, Monday potentially, he's not going to be firing fitness-wise on all cylinders for at least a couple of weeks. But to have someone of the calibre of Danny Rowe in and around the squad, I'm sure will give the whole stadium a lift.
So do you think with him it's about maybe managing expectations a little bit? Fans know what such a good player he is, but clearly he's not going to be hitting the ground running, if you like.
No, maybe not, but that doesn't mean that people shouldn't have expectations. You know, this is the crucial part of the season. There isn't any time to go, well, okay, we'll give him a couple of games, and that's harsh on someone like Danny, who no fault of his own has had to sort of sit on the sidelines. But when he comes in, and he will come in, there will be humongous pressure on him because he is probably one of, if not the best striker in the league. So just through his previous records and his ability, so there will be pressure on him. And as wonderful and as loyal as our supporters are, this is the time where they want people to turn up. And if he's on that pitch, they will want him to, and I guarantee you he will turn up.
How big a part do you think he can play this season?
Hopefully massive part. Hopefully, we'll probably play tomorrow at Bromley without him, and we're going to win the game. So we're looking to win games without Rowe, without Cabs. You know what I mean? We haven't been looking to not win them without those players. So we've got to look to win with them. And when they come back, well, not hopefully, that they would add more quality to already a very good group of players. So when and if he does come back, he will add a completely new dimension to the team that's not been in it for a while now. And Cabs as well, if he was to come back further down the line, then he would strike fear into any opponent.
How's Gavin Gunning? I know he's been struggling with his calf problem, hasn't he? Where's he at?
Yeah, he pulled his calf at Halifax. I don't think he's a million miles away. He's one of them that we're assessing today. I would say at the moment he's more of a no than a yes for tomorrow. Much more of a no. But stranger things have happened this morning. We'll assess and see how he is. But at the minute, I'm leaning towards that being a no.
Is this weekend all about trying to secure your playoff place so that it doesn't drag on into those last two games then?
Yeah, definitely. I think if sooner we get mathematically in there, not everyone can have a sigh of relief, but you can sort of get really positive about the journey going forward, albeit you've got to win that first playoff game, so we don't want it to be a one-game journey if we get in the playoffs. We want it to be obviously a 1, 2 or 3 game journey. So I think everyone can have a breather, in terms of a very quick breather for about 2 minutes before you start focusing on the next game. But some good teams in 8th, 9th, 10th who still probably think they can sneak in there if they win every game. Dagenham being one of them. I think there's a 7-point gap between us and Dagenham. The sooner you sort of make that mathematically impossible for them to catch us, the sooner we can really focus on finishing as high as we can, trying to focus on who we could have in the playoffs and gear up to beating that team. But it's as you know, Liam, it's one step at a time, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but have you still got a glimmer of hope or a slight chance that you might be able to nick third?
Definitely. It's like if we're saying we want to go to Bromley and win, and we want to beat Stockport, and we want to beat. If you're looking to win, you can win. Just like you can lose. So we don't want to play the next 4 and have no points. We want to have 12 points. People might go, well, it's not really going to happen. It might not. We can only give it our best shot to getting those points. And if you do get 12 points, you're probably doing the finish there, considering there's a few games between the teams above us anyway. So it'll be tough. Be really tough, but it's the old saying, you take each game as it comes. If we go there and win tomorrow, get a good result, Stockport here, it'll be a tough game, you beat them, all of a sudden there's every chance. But as I say, for the here and now, it's about securing that place in that top 7.
How much emphasis do you put on momentum going into playoffs? Because everyone always talks about how key it is, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to be going in there stuttering, if you like.
Yeah. I mean, I went to go and watch Grimsby play Stockport the other day because we didn't have a game, and obviously they went down to 10 men Stockport, but I was really impressed with Grimsby following up how they played here. Obviously they went to Weymouth and got a point, then they won and they won again. So they've got what you're talking about. They've got that momentum where early in the season I think people were talking about their manager getting the sack and what have you, because they were 10th, 11th, and now they've gone on a run maybe at the right time. Solihull been in and around it for a while, as have Halifax, as have us. We've been in and around it for a long time. The disappointing thing for us is that being first and second and then being 6th and injuries, etc., and whatever, it probably we're probably the team that people think, okay, let's play Chesterfield. You know, they're on their knees at the minute, so it's a challenge. I made the point this morning, if we do get promotion, it will be even sweeter. I mean, you can't beat the feeling of promotion. I'm lucky to have it out of this league, and if you get it, it is the best feeling in the world. You know, whether it's this league or the Championship, to get in the Premier League, it's a great feeling. If we can do it with the setbacks we've had, credit to us. But like I say, excuses go out the window now. This is the business end, and these supporters want to see us give it the best shot to get this club where it belongs.
And so if teams are potentially looking at Chesterfield and saying that they quite like to play them, could that work in your favour, in that you're going in there as a bit of an underdog, if you like? Maybe,
yeah. I think you could say that potentially, but you know, if we had a game here in the playoffs, or we had 8,000 or 9,000 Chesterfield fans in here, they don't want us to be underdogs, because we won't be underdogs. We're Chesterfield, you know. So we've got to back ourselves. We've got to believe that whoever we play, whether it be tomorrow or in the playoffs or whatever, we'll win. You know, that's what we've got. We've got to win, because it isn't about not getting over the line. We have to get over the line by whatever means necessary, and that starts tomorrow.
And it's 2 games in 3 days. You've obviously talked about how stretched the squad is. So the players who probably play tomorrow, they're probably going to have to do the job again on Monday, I take it.
Yes, I see what you're saying. There's a good chance of that. I think there's a few that we are assessing that maybe the next 24, 48 hours could actually get them ready for Stockport. Would that make sense? Whereas if you push them for tomorrow, you lose them for Monday. It's not an ideal situation. There's been a lot of not ideal situations for a long time now. So we have to make sure that whatever the situation is, we have to put a positive spin on it. And make sure that whoever goes out on that pitch knows the game plan and knows the way the manager wants to play, and hopefully get us those 3 points. But yeah, I see what you're saying. What I would say to everyone is that the ones who you don't see on the squad list tomorrow, there is still a chance they could be involved for Stockport.